Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:07. It's O'Connor and Company, and I'm back from vacation. Thank you to Andrew Langer for filling in the gaps while Julie Gunlock and Patrice Onwuka did all the heavy lifting, keeping the show flying along at the level and standard that you have come to expect from your mornings here in the nation's capital. Thank you, Julie. Good morning. It's good to be back.
Good morning. We missed you. Glad you're back.
I missed being here, and I missed you personally as well. Joining us right now, Ron Vitiello. He is the former acting deputy commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection. We like to call him CBP. To talk about a couple of things going on with investigations, specifically, Ron, about these children who were missing during the Biden administration. Do we have a final count? By the way, I keep hearing from, factor, oh, that's debunked, that's not true, children aren't missing. We have a lot of missing children who HHS has admitted under oath that they've lost track of these kids, right?
100%. Thanks for having me on the program. Yeah, the number is in excess of 500,000. I think the officials, it's like 560-some thousand.
Lord have
that
mercy.
came during the Biden administration, and that Biden's own HHS Office of Inspector General reported that they failed to do sponsor safety checks for a significant number of those children. They failed to use the FBI fingerprint data about sponsors, right? So when a kid comes into the United States illegally without their parents, they're placed on a path that puts them in an HHS shelter. The function of that shelter is to place that child with a family or a guardian in the U.S. So 19% of the 560,000 who were placed, the FBI data about child endangerment occurring at the hands of these sponsors was not put in the child's file, right? So think about what that means. That means they came into the country illegally looking for a better life, and they were placed with a known pedophile. 19% of the time, that data was not put in their file. 35% of these kids' cases, the sponsors didn't have identification. So the U.S. government had no official record produced by a jurisdiction in the U.S. of this person's identification. So that it's essentially a stranger from a foreign land who nobody knows who they are. They didn't do home wellness checks on these kids in a significant number, and 5% of the cases, the management system just didn't have any idea of the welfare of these kids.
Absolutely.
Here's the good news. Here's the good news. The number of kids who are coming to the border unaccompanied are mostly from Mexico now, since January 20th. Those kids are placed back with their parents in most cases, and with the help and coordination of the Mexican government. So this problem is much smaller than it was, but the 23,000 kids that have been found because the Trump administration has restructured the follow-up activity of sponsors and kids that are placed in the United States that had been placed by the Biden administration by using a war room at HHS that is informed by the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service, the National Institute for Missing and Exploited Children, and ICE, who are now vetting sponsors that kids were placed with under the Biden administration and holding those criminals to account if they traffic those kids. And so the nonsense about what happens at the border every day is over because of the way the physical border looks now. And these kids are being protected not only today and every day, but retroactively, those that were placed under the Biden administration.
Ron, I recall a couple of weeks ago there was an attempt to repatriate some of those children and reunite them with their parents, and a federal judge here in the United States put a stop to that, which I was sort of like, wait, I thought we're supposed to be concerned about families being torn apart, but apparently they threw that out. What is the status of that? Were those children that were part of that plane load of children that were being sent back to their families, did they ever get reunited, or is that still on hold?
Well, it's on hold, unfortunately, because these activist judges, who are more activists than they are judges, have blocked the Trump administration attempt. Look, think about how this all works. These folks are in HHS custody. Between ICE and the State Department, they cooked a deal with the Guatemalan government, who contacted parents and said, hey, would you like your children back? They spoke to these individual children and said, look, there's not a path here for you to be reunited with your family if you stay in the United States. You'll be placed with a guardian or in foster care, a guardian or within foster care. Would you rather go back? They all raised their hand and said yes. And this judge, who thinks they're smarter than both the Guatemalan government, the Guatemalan parents, and the U.S. government interagency, this judge blocked the ability for these kids to be reunited at home.
Ron, people hear this and get absolutely outraged that this happened, and it was the government who allowed this to happen. In more ways than one, first they allowed the crisis so that these children could be exploited in the way that they were, sometimes by drug traffickers, human traffickers, coyotes. Sometimes their families were naive and taken advantage of, I think, and sent their own children into harm's way, whatever the circumstances. They hear about this, they recognize that the government dropped the ball, and they want accountability. I mean, is this if I'm looking at the numbers here, 23,000 children have been recovered now, but they found out that 27 of these children, these minors, were found dead, either by murder, suicide, or drug overdose. People want accountability. I mean, if through the Biden administration's negligence, these children are now dead, is there anybody who will be held responsible for this?
That's an interesting question. Yes, of course, the people who did those dastardly acts to these kids will be prosecuted in those local jurisdictions. But you're right. The Biden administration willfully encouraged this problem to get as big as it did. It's because of their lack of diligence at the border. One of the first things that the Biden administration did when they took over was they ended rapid DNA testing that was used at the hands of Border Patrol and ICE to make sure that kids that were traveling with parents that the agents suspected were not their own children, that they were being smuggled or they were being used to be led into the United States because the Biden administration was encouraging this activity. They ended DNA testing in the early days of the Biden administration. You'll remember one of his first acts was to put a moratorium on removals and deportation, thereby encouraging families to send their children or families to come with their children. That accountability, unfortunately, is going to be lost to us because the fake president, the auto president is gone. Thankfully, we have a new president, a real president, and a real border czar that's taking on these issues to make sure it's not happening now.
Ron Vitiello, thank you so much for giving us an update on this, and hopefully we'll get more children recovered. There's plenty more to go. Thank you, sir.
Amen. Thank you.
You mentioned the borders. Let's hear real fast from Tom Homan, the border czar. He appeared over the weekend to talk about this issue. Let's listen, cut 11.
300,000 children. I looked at the numbers just yesterday. We've located over 23,000 of them. So 23,000 locations of the 300,000. Well, President Trump's committed. We're not going to stop till we find every one of them, or at least run every lead down on those 300,000 children. That's a big plus for the administration, because the last administration wasn't even looking for them.
Yeah, they didn't want to know. They weren't looking for them. 8:15 WMAL.
WMAL, making sense of the news. Live from the Home Paramount Pest Control Studios. Home Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
As you know, President Trump is effectively cleaning up Washington, D.C., because the leadership of this city, either through the mayor's office or the district council, has just either been uninterested, unwilling, or unable to do the basics of Western civilization, cleaning out homeless encampments. See, there's an overall. Let me digress for a moment. The dealing with homeless people, criminal vagrants, stinking up Union Station and turning it into a drug den and absolute pigsty with human feces and urine. We have become accustomed to the idea that when we walk in a major city in this country, that there's nothing we can do about people urinating on the street, that it's just going to smell like human debris, that there's nothing you can do about criminal behavior. We shrug at the fact that, well, you just shouldn't go into that part of the city after dark because, you're going to get attacked, as if that's normal. Like we've accepted, like the behavior that we saw on the security camera on the light rail train in Charlotte, where this woman leaving her job working at a pizza parlor because she came here to flee the war in Ukraine, she gets stabbed in the throat, and I swear to you, people will say, well, that's what happens when you ride mass transit late at night. It's like, we should not have to accept this.
That's right.
Why have we allowed this to happen?
But Larry, it's just over and over and over again. These horrible things happen, and you think, this is it. This is the time. This is the thing that's going to convince these people in these deep, dark blue areas to consider voting for not the same guy who lets this happen over and over again. And honestly, I talked last week about the pain threshold of Democrats in some of these cities, that they just don't care. They just allow this stuff to happen. But the truth is, it doesn't happen to a lot of the people who show up and vote. It happens to the most vulnerable in society.
And when you say what you and I just said, and we say this shouldn't be tolerated, we shouldn't allow this, we should actually arrest these people, we are called intolerant. We are called racist. We are called, whatever words you want to use to demonize us and shut us down. And instead of engaging, we're like the guy at the baseball game, just fine, take the ball. I don't want to deal with you. We leave. We move to the suburbs, and we say, fine, it's your problem now. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And Donald Trump, the president, has sort of attacked these issues over the last several weeks by saying, no, it doesn't have to be this way. We don't need to tolerate it. And here's the latest example. Outside the White House, right by Lafayette Square, for years, dare I say decades, a man has been living in his own filth, super stinky. Like, we've all walked past this guy with a sign that's protesting war in general. I probably started during Bush, during the war on terror, and he's just stuck around. And it's laughed about. It's sort of like, oh, this is, it's just adding character. That's DC for you. And Trump, well, listen to what happened when President Trump was notified in the Oval Office, because the president doesn't go outside the White House and start walking around the neighborhood. He doesn't know.
Right.
So he was notified by a reporter that this stinky vagrant with a sign that says "Stop War Now" is still there. Take a listen.
That originally was put there to be an anti-nuclear tent for nuclear arms. It's kind of morphed into more of an anti-American at sometimes, anti-Trump at many times.
Where is this blue tent?
Right in front of the White House on the North Lawn on the other side of the Black Gate in Lafayette.
I haven't known this.
All of us in here walk right by it every day. It is an eyesore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Let me
Take it down. Take it down today, right now. Nobody told me that. So you're saying there's a blue tent?
It's been there for 30 plus years. It was originally a peace tent, but it's kind of morphed into something.
Morphed into radical left. Okay.
Well, but I've heard.
Is it in the Ellipse? Where is it?
No, it's in Lafayette Park. It's actually
Lafayette Park. Take it down.
And apparently, Sunday morning, it was taken down. It was manned by a gentleman named Philippos Malaco Bello. That's the that's the stinky person that I've been talking about. He's called it a vigil and a anti-nuclear peace memorial since 1981. Forgive me, I thought it was Bush. No, it goes all the way back to Reagan.
Good grief.
The park police has cleared it out now, calling it a homeless encampment rather than a protest, and it is gone. Because up until now, administrations have labeled this as a some kind of memorial or some kind of ongoing protest, and it isn't.
It is hideous. It interrupts the view of the White House from Lafayette Park. I love how people, these, and I'm talking about leftists. They watch these shows like Downton Abbey, and they're like, so pretty. It's so pretty because crap like this wasn't tolerated. Lafayette Park is Larry, we were just in Lafayette Park a couple weeks ago. We had attended an event at the Old Executive. We're walking through Lafayette Park, and we look over, and there it is off to the right, and it's ugly. Yep. And, we don't, it's what you said earlier. We don't have to live this way.
We don't have to live this way.
We don't.
This person lived there. He lived there for 30 years. The only way that he kept the thing from being dismantled. But here's the thing. He lives in his own filth. He's disabled. He has a wheelchair. I bet people have come and given him aid of some kind.
It's cruel.
It is cruel. It's cruel to this person. And we as a society don't need to deal with it. And so it's gone. According to the Associated Press, it was finally cleared out Sunday night. And I know some people will say that's wrong. He's just exercising his First Amendment rights. No, that's...
Oh my gosh, the wailing! I can hear it. I can hear it all the way from the studio all the way to Alexandria. The women in Alexandria. How dare you take this man who needs help? And
do we know who the reporter was? That obviously it was someone on the right side of this issue. Heather, do we know who that reporter was?
Yeah, who was that?
Who was it? Can you? No,
I don't think it was Ducey.
Brian Glenn. Do we know what publication? Real America's Voice. There you go.
There you go. Good for him.
Done deal. Nice job.
Boy.
DC's a little bit better today, thanks to President Trump, and it's safer for the tourists. And the air is a little clearer right outside the White House and at Lafayette Square. And there you go. That's air pollution taken care of right there.
There you go.
It's 8:24.
Are Virginia Democrats in a total panic? It looks that way. Keep it here. We'll discuss. It's 8:30.
WMAL FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now. Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:37. We're going to hand it off to Chris Plant coming up in about 30 minutes. But Julie Gunlock and I have a little bit more we want to address here on this O'Connor and Company edition. August 8th edition. It's 8/8, right? No, 9/8. Wait, what month is it? It's September.
Wait,
Good morning, Julie.
Don't confuse me.
You know what? I put my contacts in because I'm going to do a media hit. So I took my glasses off.
And you don't want to be in your big black.
I'm not going to. Yeah,
glasses.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be. That woman in Florida who stole the baseball from the little boy, that's exactly who the Democrats have nominated to be governor of Virginia.
Absolutely.
That is Abigail Spanberger in a Phillies jersey.
Sticking her thumb in her finger in your face, telling you what to do. That's exactly right.
That's right. And know that she knows better than everybody. She's, and now we got an update on this governor's race, which is tightening. Winsome Sears is really finding her voice, really coming into her own, and the issues are made to order for Winsome Sears. And Abigail Spanberger still refuses to acknowledge the details of all of the scandalous issues going on in Northern Virginia schools. And Glenn Youngkin, I don't know if you saw, is now jumping on board because Spanberger has promised to do away with any cooperation between Virginia law enforcement and ICE officials.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is the Gavin Newsom playbook. That's who Abigail Spanberger. When you think of Abigail Spanberger, either think of that woman with the glasses and the Phillies jersey taking the baseball, or think of the woman who rebranded Cracker Barrel, or think of Gavin Newsom. One of those three. That's who Abigail Spanberger is.
I mean, we are right back where we were with Terry McAuliffe and Youngkin, and this is a choice: parents' rights or no parents' rights, sanctuary cities and sanctuary state or no sanctuary state. I mean, this is a very clear-cut decision people have to make.
Maybe we should, we were saying we shouldn't call these women Karens because it's unfair, and Karen's a beautiful name.
Name Karen.
Yeah, let's call them Abigails. Maybe that's the way to go.
That's good. Oh, but I like the name Abigail, and I feel bad for Abigails. I think we should just call them
Spanbergers. Because that's not, nobody likes
no
that
one's
name.
named Spanberger.
What a horrible name, by the way. Yeah, all right. So now we've got another. Apparently, so Abigail Spanberger has gotten the most glowing, beautiful, hands-off coverage by the media, where they've already won the race for her. They think that she's already governor,
and they're
never talking
look at
about
her
as a running mate for 28 already.
No, can you imagine?
They don't challenge her on her voting record. They don't challenge her on any of her positions. They don't ask her any hard questions at all.
No.
And yet, Julie Gunlock, the media, apparently, from the Spanberger perspective, is still not supportive enough. They have literally been caught red-handed creating a fake news site.
That's right.
So that they could get positive coverage, more positive coverage. So they created something.
Like an actual, it looks like an actual news site. This is Spanberger's campaign. It looks like a news site. Go ahead. Sorry.
Instead of putting out information on their website or putting information out on their social media feeds, they've created something called the Commonwealth Courier.
So
it's not real. There's no such thing as the Commonwealth Courier. It is a creation of the Spanberger campaign, and now they're pushing out stories that they're basically press releases, but they're making them look like news stories from a news outlet. And they've created a Facebook page called the Commonwealth Courier so that people can share these stories. This is propaganda that the campaign has created, and it's phony.
It's almost like she was trained in disinformation tactics like the CIA does.
Do you think this is an info op?
This is an info op. I mean, Abby always brags about being part of the CIA, and now she is using these talents and these skills that she honed at the CIA to fool voters. This is gross. Right. By the way, it's completely unethical. By the way, and and I mean, this is again the party of like, we don't want misinformation and disinformation, and she's doing it.
It's deception. It's absolute total deception. Tyler O'Neill over at Heritage Foundation Daily Signal, he's dove into this. Not only has this, it describes itself on the Facebook page, the Commonwealth Courier, as a media news company, which they are not.
Right.
Not only are they pushing out stories which are not stories, they're propaganda and creations of the Spanberger campaign, but they're also buying ads. Think about that. So instead of seeing a campaign ad paid for by Spanberger for governor, they're seeing an ad from this fake propped up news organization called the Commonwealth Courier.
Dirty.
And then once you click like 2 or 3 times, you actually see, Commonwealth Courier is also paid for by Spanberger for governor. So they're technically following the law, but you're right. It's dirty. It is dirty, dirty stuff.
And honestly, I think it is also a sign of panic. I think that she knows that she has gone completely silent. She sticks her head in the ground. She does not want to talk about the scandals in Loudoun and Fairfax and Alexandria and Arlington. She doesn't want to talk about the problems with crime all throughout Virginia. So she sticks her head in the ground, and then she does not think that the coverage is favorable enough, which is shocking.
Right.
So they create this fake site. It is panic. It is a sign of panic and a disintegrating campaign.
Yeah. By the way, real fast, not only are we keeping an eye on that race, but also, of course, the special election for Virginia 11. Tomorrow is Election Day.
Yes.
Stewart Whitson is going full speed ahead right up to the finish line, and you can go over to his website if you want to volunteer to do phone banking and all the get-out-the-vote stuff at the Fairfax Republican Party headquarters. We'll certainly be covering that story tomorrow on Election Day and on Wednesday when we know the results. It's 8:44.
Later this afternoon on the Derek Hunter Show, President Trump destroys a boat of drug smugglers. Democrats mad that he did it, of course. We'll talk about it at 3 o'clock on WMAL.
Julie?
Yes.
I need you to help me out because I'm feeling something that I just don't want to feel.
Stop.
I'm feeling something that I shouldn't feel. Something strange is happening. I've seen this selfie picture that Martha Stewart put out. And
yeah. Okay,
Julie,
just calm down. Stop breathing hard.
I am hot for an 84-year-old woman.
That's not that's half robot. Okay, that's half plastic. Okay.
I am hot for a woman older than
and
Joe
God
Biden.
bless her. She pulls it off.
What is she up to? I love that. By the way, the headline: Martha Stewart, 84, sparks plastic surgery speculation with new Glam photo. Speculation?
No, it's a fact. It's a fact. Yeah, exactly. I was interested. So there's another story about her going to
the U.S. Open.
Thank you, the U.S. Open. And it says that she's about to launch her first skincare line. I love this. Like 84 years old, why not retire? Like, I would be so good at being a wealthy retiree, okay? So good at it. I wouldn't do anything. But these people, they never stop. So she's got this new healthcare line coming, or skincare line.
Skincare,
I need that. Although I don't think it's just the skincare. I think there's been a lot of injections.
I was going to say. I think
shifting of things.
The skincare product is basically concealer to cover all the scars.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Does the skincare product include peeling off your skin and tightening all the muscles underneath?
She does look hot, though.
She looks great.
Oh,
she looks great. No doubt about it.
Martha Stewart is
gonna live forever.
I feel funny.
She does look.
This is weird.
Look great, and she was there with while Trump was there, I guess.
She was.
Wonder if they have a common enemy, James Comey.
That's right.
Wonder if they had a little conversation, shared notes.
We'll see. That's Melania. Martha's.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm tongue-tied.
Are you?
Well, look at her.
You're
she
sweating.
Looks incredible.
I can see you sweating.
I'm gonna get some of that skincare stuff. It's 8:53.